WWE 2K24 is dropping their first DLC pack, and it is the ECW Punk Pack, including Terry Funk, the Dudley Boys, Sandman, and yours truly's favorite wrestler, CM Punk. We're going to dive in, show you the videos. At the end of the video, we're going to give you our full review on the DLC coming May 15th. I have been asking for an ECW pack since the beginning of last year, probably for a few years now. It is unfortunate that we're only getting 4 stars from the ECW roster. We do have some in-game, which is great, but I would have liked to see more because I am just a huge fan of the old school ECW, not that WWE crap, but the old school ECW, from the bingo halls to the gutter arenas. That is the ECW I like, and there is nothing more fitting for an ECW pack than WWE 2K24 with all the blood and all the things that you can do within the game with the weapons. I'm stoked to finally get extreme with this game. The first reveal that we got was the Sandman, and a lot of people threw shade at this entrance because it just doesn't really feel like Sandman when he's not coming down from the crowd. I'm almost sure that they got another entrance for the Sandman this year, but the fact that they showed us this one with him coming down from the entranceway was a little weird. Granted, I get it. They wanted to show him in the ECW arena. Maybe the ECW arena prevents the wrestlers from coming down to the crowd. I don't understand that at all. Somebody run the Shield entrance and let me know if that works in the ECW arena. I have a few complaints about this Sandman, and granted, they're my own personal opinion, but we got this version of the Sandman back in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. He has the exact same attire, the exact same look. This is the WWE version of Sandman, if you will. This is not the ECW version of Sandman. The ECW Sandman I remember had the pajama bottoms. He had the stained white t-shirt. He had the grimy ass mullet. He was cracking beers over his head in the crowd. You could probably make this attire, within Community Creations. I mean, you're not going to be able to fix the hair. You're not going to be able to add a beer belly. But this is the Sandman that I would have liked to see within the game. Don't get me wrong. This model looks phenomenal. This looks great. I still cannot wait to use this version of Sandman. I can't wait to create my ECW universe mode. There was just versions of this Sandman that threw me through a loop and wondered why they didn't pull the trigger on this classic look for the Sandman. But don't get me wrong, entrance is great, the model looks great, can't wait to use them. I hope they have another crowd entrance for the Sandman so that way everybody is happy. We're going to have to find out May 15th. The next reveal we got was the Dudley Boys. Now, the Dudley Boys came out with the WWE look once again, and they had their early music. There's no pyro coming from the rafters down to the stage. So we got the old theme for the Dudley Boys, and for some reason, Bubba Ray does not have his wrist tape. Did we just pick the one time that Bubba Ray came out with no wrist tape, and that's the model we chose to go with, 2K? I am a little confused on that. Once again, a minor complaint, but again, you could have went with the ECW version of the Dudley Boys in the tie-dye t-shirts. This would have been awesome. Originally, we got a screen cap of Bubba Ray and he wasn't wearing the glasses. Again, fans jump to conclusions, myself included, but we got the entrance and he comes out with the glasses, he just removes them. I'm really excited for the Dudley Boys to be back in a WWE game. I don't know how you guys feel, but this needed to happen. I'm really hoping that they come with some sort of animation, tag team animation, that is specific to the Dudley Boys. What sucks about WWE 2K is you're not able to do tag team moves through the table unless you pull off some sorcery of some sort. They really need to aim towards doing the presentation that is shown on WWE television. I would love to do a 3D through the table. I don't think that's going to happen in WWE 2K24. Just some suggestions for further games. We do need to incorporate some of these things towards your weapons. We still don't have weapon grapples. There's a few things that are missing that could go really well with the ECW pack. And man, I just keep going back to that 3D through the table. Wish we would have gotten that. As far as the models go, man, these things look sick. I can't wait to play with these guys in WWE 2K24. I might even call out of work just to set up that ECW universe mode. We haven't had Terry Funk in a video game in quite some time, so I'm excited to have Terry Funk back. He is fitting to be in the ECW pack, so I'm really excited to see him back. And man, they really nailed this one. They really nailed this one. I think that this is one of the best ones out of the ECW collection that we have seen so far. They even got the water on the shirt. The graphics are there. Terry Funk looks amazing. I can't wait to have some of those hardcore classics like we used to see back in the day with Cactus Jack, Terry Funk. Can't wait to see these guys' movesets. I am curious to see what movesets are placed within this ECW Punk Pack. I'm really looking forward to this, and come May 15th, we're going to find out. Terry Funk forever, dude. Rest in peace. I am so excited that I get to use your model in WWE 2K24, and the legacy can live on in some form or fashion through gameplay, through old footage. Terry Funk's a damn legend, dude. CM Punk has returned to a video game after nearly 10 years of being away since WWE 2K15. Everybody was questioning whether or not this was going to be the ECW version of Punk. Is this going to be the WWE version of Punk, Straight Edge Society version of Punk, or old school Punk before Money in the Bank? There was a lot of variations out there of CM Punk that people were wanting, but I think the majority vote got what they wanted, and we got current day CM Punk. This thing looks absolutely stunning. This is one of the best models that I've ever seen in a video game for CM Punk. Dare I say this is the best model in all of WWE 2K24? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. New animation for his entrance. This is phenomenal. I'm really excited that CM Punk is back in a video game. He is one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, and I'm stoked that now we have him in multiple video games. Who would have known? Like I said, there is zero complaints when it comes to this version of CM Punk. With all the attires being made on Community Creations, I can't wait to load up those cost slots, those logo limits. Everything is getting loaded up with CM Punk attires. I want AEW. I want old school WWE. I want Straight Edge Society. I want all of the CM Punks that I can get, man. There was a few CAW makers holding it down for the last 2 years on the CM Punk creations. Just gonna shout them out. D-Frack and Halloween, thank you guys so much for holding me down on the CM Punk cause. They were probably some of the best in the Community Creations, and I really enjoyed them for the time that we had them. But now you folks can take your retirement bow. CM Punk is finally back as an in-game model in WWE 2K24. And man, I couldn't be more excited. We also get some My Faction cards. We have a My Faction manager of Paul Heyman. I have a major complaint about this My Faction manager. It's not a Persona card. 2K, what are we doing with these things, man? What are we doing with the Persona cards? This is a miss to me. This is a straight L. We should have had the manager version of Paul Heyman, and maybe even a playable Paul Heyman as an ECW version. I would have loved to see it. I'm sure the fans would have loved to seen it. It is something that we missed on, man. 2K, make it happen. My Faction needs to light up this year. There's just not enough Persona cards. Now that CM Punk is out, I think I know what everybody is thinking when it comes to Persona cards. Me personally, I'd like to see this one and this one. We need to make this happen. Straight Edge Society Punk and This Fire Burns CM Punk. I don't really know what else to call that version of CM Punk. That needs to be in the game. It needs to be in a game as Persona cards. It doesn't matter which one. I would love to see Straight Edge Society version, but there's a lot of people that want This Fire Still Burns in their video game. Does WWE still have the licensing to kill switch engage This Fire Still Burns? Let me know. Either way, don't botch it like you did Enter Sandman. I understand. Kill switch engage probably is a lot cheaper than Metallica. As far as the actual My Faction content that you get with the pack, besides the manager Paul Heyman, you do get all of these cards in the downloadable pack, but unfortunately, they're all Sapphire. I have no words. If you have been playing My Faction since the release, you're probably way above the Sapphire tier cards. You're probably into the Rubies. You're probably into the higher tiers. I just don't see anybody playing with Sapphire cards. Other than that, the cards look fantastic. I'm assuming we're going to get more of these types of cards rolling out into packs for the My Faction mode. It's going to be a good time. I just wish that things were a little bit easier to unlock. So let's give my thoughts on this DLC as a whole, okay? We've already heard the complaints from me about the ECW variations of these characters. That would have been an amazing addition, but I get the Dudley Boys probably more than what I get the Sandman version, because the Dudley Boys are just kind of synonymous with WWE, as to where Sandman is not really. He had such a short stint within WWE that I don't think it would have mattered if we just used him for the ECW version of this game. As far as Terry Funk goes, man, they absolutely nailed him. They nailed him. They nailed all of them, really. I love the way Sandman looks, even though it's a WWE variation of him, and the Dudley Boys came out phenomenal. They look great. I just had the little complaints about, it's an ECW pack. Why not have ECW variations? I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid. All the models look incredible, but I have to tip my hat off to this modern day CM Punk. Thank you to the dev team for putting together the modern day Punk, because you had me on a scare there for a little bit. I was hoping that this was going to be the case and that we would get the modern day Punk to go along in our modern day universes, and hopefully we can just get those variations released within the My Faction packs later. As far as the My Faction content, I'm going to say that every single one of these cards is an L to me. Yeah, I'm glad that you gave us a Ruby manager when it comes to Paul Heyman, but the whole DLC roster being a Sapphire, I mean, how are we not putting at least Punk up on a pedestal? This is probably the top DLC that you're going to be releasing all year throughout this game. CM Punk should have been a really higher tier card, if you ask me, but I digress. I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal, but that is my opinion. I think that every single one of these cards are an L. I think that the Paul Heyman probably should have been a Persona card and playable throughout the game, but what are you gonna do? But I'm gonna give this DLC pack a solid thumbs up. The fact that they gave this DLC to us first, this was the most exciting DLC, I would say, out of the entire DLC lineup that we have coming throughout the year. This was the first one that we got, and that is rad, man, because I remember waiting all year for that Bray Wyatt DLC, and that's really the only one I cared about last year. And we waited all year for that, and by the time that DLC came out, the game was kind of just dead and done. I wish we didn't have to wait that long until the Jade Cargill DLC. I think that one should be bumped up, and we should get that sooner. Maybe release that Pat McAfee DLC at the end that nobody really cares about. Well, other than that, man, this DLC pack I'm really excited for. It should be coming with a patch here shortly, so keep an eye out for that. And 2K, it better be a massive one, because we need it. If you're new to the My Faction, you want to learn a little bit something different about the mode, then go ahead and click this video right here. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Take it easy.